According to the Akashic Records, what are ways that men defeminize women without realizing it? Please give us a full breakdown.
According to the Akashic Records, the relationship between masculine and feminine energies is sacred and deeply interdependent. Just as women can unknowingly emasculate men, men can unintentionally defeminize women by disrupting or suppressing the flow of feminine energy. The feminine energy thrives on connection, nurturing, creativity, intuition, and being spiritually and emotionally seen and honored. When men act in ways that suppress, dismiss, or misunderstand this energy, it can lead women to feel unbalanced, unseen, or forced into a more masculine role to compensate. Here is a breakdown of the ways men unknowingly defeminize women and how to restore balance and harmony. 1. Invalidating her emotions. Behavior, dismissing or downplaying her feelings. When men dismiss women's emotions as dramatic, irrational, or unnecessary, they block the feminine flow, which is deeply emotionally expressive. Why it defeminizes. Feminine energy thrives in the free flow of emotions and the ability to feel without judgment. When her emotions are invalidated, she may suppress them, disconnecting from her authentic self and becoming overly guarded or forced into emotional self-sufficiency. Example, saying, "Why are you making such a big deal out of this?" instead of acknowledging her feelings. Solution, honor her emotions without needing to fix them. Listen with presence and validate her perspective by saying, "I hear you and I can understand why you feel this way." Failing to create emotional safety. Behavior, avoiding vulnerability or emotional depth. When men shut down emotionally, avoid deep conversations, or resist being present during conflict, it creates a lack of emotional safety. Why it defeminizes. Feminine energy is deeply intuitive and craves emotional connection. Without safety and openness, a woman may feel disconnected and hold back her own vulnerability, forcing her to shield herself in masculine energy, e.g. defensiveness or emotional toughness. Example, being emotionally closed off during important discussions or responding with indifference, like whatever, it doesn't matter. Solution. Foster emotional transparency, share feelings without fear of judgment, and encourage her to do the same. Be present in moments of conflict and openness, showing her that her emotions are safe with you. 3. Excessive criticism or control. Behavior, pointing out her flaws or trying to micromanage her. Offering excessive advice or critiques about her appearance, decisions, or behavior can strip her of her feminine radiance and confidence. Why it feminizes. Feminine energy loves to live in creativity, self-expression, and flow. When excessively controlled or criticized, she may feel stifled, judged, or inadequate, falling into self-doubt and losing her light-hearted feminine ease. Example, commenting, "You should wear this instead," or "That's not the right way to do it," instead of appreciating her choices or actions. Solution, show appreciation and encouragement even if things aren't done your way. Complement her uniqueness and creativity, allowing her to embody her feminine essence freely. Ignoring her need for intimacy and connection. Behavior, neglecting the little moments of connection. Failing to prioritize intimacy, both emotional and physical, avoiding affection, or being distracted during connecting moments can pull her out of her feminine energy. Why it defeminizes. Feminine energy finds nourishment in closeness, love, and relational intimacy. When a man withholds affection or attention, she may feel unseen, unloved, or unworthy, causing her to harden to protect herself. Example, being distracted on your phone during dinner or neglecting small gestures of affection like hugs or compliments. Solution, be fully present in moments of connection. Small acts of loving attention like holding her hand, giving her compliments, or noticing her efforts keep her feminine heart open. 5. Forcing her into overdrive. Behavior, depending on her to handle too many responsibilities, relying on her to constantly plan, organize, or manage everything, household, kids, schedules, etc., can overwhelm her and force her into a masculine role. Why it defeminizes. Feminine energy thrives in receiving, nurturing, and flowing, rather than managing and problem-solving non-stop. Overloading her with tasks shifts her into masculine doing energy, leading to exhaustion and resentment. Example, leaving her to handle all household chores, emotional labor, or planning without offering to share the load. Solution, share in responsibilities and allow her time to rest and recharge. Take initiative in planning dates or taking care of practical tasks so she can prioritize her creativity and self-care. 6, rejecting or dismissing her intuition. Behavior, insisting on logic over her inner guidance. Feminine energy is deeply intuitive and relies on gut feelings and emotional intelligence to navigate life. Men who dismiss or mock this intuition stifle her feminine gifts. Why it defeminizes. Rejecting her intuition sends the message that her feminine wisdom is untrustworthy or irrelevant, forcing her to over-rationalize or doubt herself. Example, saying that doesn't make any sense when she expresses her intuitive insights or feelings about something. Solution, even if you don't understand her intuition, respect it as valuable. Say, I trust how you feel about this, or consider her input alongside logic. Both energies can coexist. 7, being overly dominant. Behavior, refusing to collaborate or listen, leading the relationship with rigid dominance rather than collaboration, suppresses her voice and self-expression. Why it defeminizes. Feminine energy shines in a space of equality and mutual respect. Overly controlling or dismissive behavior forces her into submission or constant defensiveness, shutting down her feminine flow. Example, insisting on making all decisions without consulting her or dismissing her ideas as impractical. Solution, lead with balance by inviting her input and collaborating as equals. Honor her perspectives and create space for her creativity and insight. 8, failing to compliment or acknowledge her beauty. Behavior, taking her feminine expression for granted. When men stop noticing or appreciating her physical, emotional, and spiritual beauty, she may feel invisible or unappreciated. Why it defeminizes. Feminine energy flourishes when it is seen and celebrated. Neglecting to acknowledge her beauty and uniqueness can make her feel unworthy, eventually shutting down her radiant femininity. Example, failing to give compliments or show appreciation for her efforts in dressing up, creating a warm home environment, or expressing her love creatively. Solution, regularly offer genuine compliments about her appearance, presence, or unique qualities. Acknowledge her efforts and radiance with heartfelt words. 9, shaming her sexuality. Behavior, judging or suppressing her sexual expression, criticizing her sexual desires, shaming her, or neglecting physical intimacy can suppress her connection to her sensual feminine energy. Why it defeminizes. Feminine energy is deeply connected to the sacred expression of sexuality. Shame or neglect in this area stifles her power and confidence as a fully embodied woman. Example, mocking her sexual preferences or being indifferent to her emotional and physical needs in the bedroom. Solution, approach her sexuality with reverence. Create a safe space for her to feel desired and valued as both an emotional and physical being. 10, over-focusing on practicality. Behavior, neglecting joy, spontaneity, and romance, constantly focusing on productivity or logic while neglecting small romantic gestures or moments can drain her vibrant energy. Why it defeminizes. Feminine energy loves to express itself through creativity, spontaneity, and play. When everything becomes overly practical or routine, her feminine flow can stagnate. Example, always prioritizing work over quality time or brushing off her desire for romance as unnecessary. Solution, infuse the relationship with spontaneity and romance. Plan surprises, prioritize date nights, and allow for moments of joy and playfulness. Feminine energy thrives here.
And guys, I'm not putting this video out there to blame anyone. I just kind of want to get a lot of people's perspective on this, idea, because if you want to think about it, a lot of our Black communities, we didn't have a solid foundation. A lot of our parents wasn't married. A lot of our fathers wasn't in the home. All we saw was our mother kind of doing everything. So all we're seeing today is the finished product of what today's world is, of a masculine woman or even a feminine man. We haven't seen a solid foundation growing up. Let's take a look at it. Like, you say you want a feminine woman, but you never saw a feminine woman growing up. So how do you know how to treat a feminine woman? You say you want a provider, but your father wasn't in your life to show you how to take care of a man that provides. He had never taught you how to deal with money. So how you know how to deal with a man that can provide? How do you know how to multiply what he provides? So when you see videos like these, kind of, do some research or kind of open your mind to what's being said, because all we see is a finished product of a masculine woman, but we never talk about how that woman got to that point, or we never talk about the effeminate man and how he got to that point. So, this video is not to shame anyone or to put the blame on anyone, but it has a lot to do with our foundations. So y'all just tell me what y'all think in the comments. Don't forget to like and share, guys.